London, 1905. Hans Wilsdorf, a 24-year-old German, teams up with his half-brother-in-law Alfred Davis. Together they found Wilsdorf and Davis, not a watch factory, but a watch trading company. The trick is simple. They import precision movements from a Swiss maker, Hermann Eglier, and fit them into luxury cases stamped by the top jewelers of the era. Back then, men wore pocket watches. Wristwatches were seen as almost feminine. But Wilsdorf sees it differently. He sees the future on people's wrists. Every case carries 2 letters engraved inside, W and D. Sound familiar? That's not a coincidence. That's a seed planted years ahead of time. By 1910, his watches earned Switzerland's first-ever chronometric precision certificate awarded to a wristwatch. In 1914, Britain's Kew Observatory hands him a Class A rating, a title normally reserved for marine chronometers. The name Wilsdorf is now bound to one word: precision. But there's a problem. Taxes on gold and silver are crushing his margins. So he does what any smart founder would do. He moves. Headquarters, Geneva. Branches, America, Asia, Australia. In 1915, a name gets registered that will outlive everyone in this story: Rolex. Nobody actually knows where the name came from. Not even historians agree. Some say it's shorthand for the French phrase horlogerie exquise, exquisite watchmaking. Others believe it's a mashup of 2 symbols, Rolls-Royce for luxury, Timex for mass-market timekeeping. But Wilsdorf's own story is stranger. He wanted a word, short, easy to pronounce in any language, small enough not to crowd the dial, so English retailers could still engrave their own names underneath. He spent months rearranging letters. Nothing worked. Then, according to him, while riding a London bus, a little spirit whispered the word in his ear: Rolex. By 1920, the company becomes Monters Rolex SA, registered in Geneva. 5 years later comes the symbol we all know today, the 5-pointed crown. A real brand is being born. Rolex does something no one has done before. It seals a case completely airtight. They call it the Oyster. But claims alone aren't enough. It needs public proof. So in 1927, Wilsdorf straps his Oyster to the wrist of a 26-year-old swimmer, Mercedes Gleitze. The mission: swim across the English Channel. 10 hours. Freezing water. No wetsuit, no modern gear, just willpower and a watch on her wrist. She makes it. And when she steps out of the water, the Oyster is still running perfectly. Rolex buys the front page of the Daily Mail to tell the world. Gleitze becomes history's first brand ambassador, and Rolex learns a lesson it will repeat for the next 100 years. It's not enough to claim greatness, you have to prove it publicly, under pressure. In 1931, Rolex patents the perpetual rotor, the world's first automatic movement. The watch wins itself, forever, just from the motion of the wrist. Rolex equips the British expedition attempting to reach the highest point on Earth. Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay reach the summit of Everest. The news travels around the planet. And Rolex seizes the perfect moment to launch the Oyster Perpetual Explorer, the watch for those who go where no one else dares. That same year, another legend is born. A dive watch waterproof to 100 meters. The Submariner. It will become the most imitated watch in the history of watchmaking. Between 1948 and 1952, Rolex builds its first complicated watch, reference 8171, nicknamed the Padalone. Moonphase, dual windows for day and month, a 38mm case. Fewer than 1,000 were made, almost all in solid gold. The 1950s bring the age of intercontinental flights, and a new problem. Airline pilots crossing different time zones need to read 2 times at once. Rolex's answer, in 1955, the GMT Master, with its signature 2-tone bezel to distinguish day from night. A year later comes the Oyster Perpetual Day Date, the first wristwatch to spell out the full day of the week on the dial. Made only in gold or platinum. Worn on the President bracelet, named for the very people it was gifted to. That same year, a watch is born for a specific enemy: magnetism. Scientists, engineers, machinists, anyone working near strong magnetic fields risked their watch losing accuracy. Certified by CERN in Geneva to resist up to 1,000 Gauss, the Milgauss is born. That same year also sees the debut of the Cellini line, pure gold dress watches, dedicated to Renaissance goldsmith Benvenuto Cellini. The bathyscaphe Trieste is about to attempt something insane, reaching the deepest known point on the planet, the Mariana Trench. Fixed to the outside of the vessel, not inside, outside, exposed to crushing pressure, is an experimental Rolex watch. 10,916 meters deep. The vessel returns to the surface. The watch is untouched, still running perfectly. Rolex unveils a manual wind chronograph dedicated to the famous speed race in Florida, the Cosmograph Daytona. The first reference didn't even carry the word Daytona. But everything changes with reference 6239. Actor Paul Newman wears it on the poster for his racing film. The watch becomes a legend. Today that reference sells for millions at auction, all because of one photograph. That same year, Rolex forms a partnership with Comex, a French maritime engineering company that needed rugged timepieces for diverse maintaining offshore rigs. The Sea Dweller is born, rated to 610 meters. The Explorer II arrives, nicknamed the Frechen for its distinctive orange 24-hour hand, designed for cave explorers and polar researchers who can't always tell day from night. For anyone living where the sun refuses to set, or refuses to rise, this watch tells you which is which. Late 1970s. The Swiss watch industry is in freefall. Japan floods the market with quartz watches, more accurate, cheaper, mass-produced. Even the biggest Swiss names, Rolex, Patek Philippe, Omega, Zenith, are forced into an unlikely alliance, a shared consortium to develop their own quartz movement. The result is a limited run of 900 gold watches. But sharing technology with rivals isn't enough for Rolex. In 1972, it leaves the consortium and develops its own model, the Oyster quartz, a completely original design, sold from 1977 all the way to 2001. Depth records keep falling. 1978. The Sea Dweller reaches 1,220 meters. 2008. The Deep Sea, with its revolutionary ring-lock case system, survives 3,900 meters. In 1992 comes the Yachtmaster, a new take on the submariner made for sailors. And in the early 2000s, Rolex stops depending on outside suppliers for good. 2000. The first fully in-house Rolex movement debuts, the caliber 4130, the new heart of the Daytona, with over 200 fewer components than before. 2005. A scratch-proof, corrosion-proof ceramic bezel. And a new alloy called Parachrome, nearly immune to shocks and magnetic fields. 2007. The Yachtmaster II, the first watch in the world with a programmable mechanical countdown, built for regatta starts. 2012. The Sky Dweller is born, capable of tracking 2 time zones with a new kind of annual calendar. From a 24-year-old German with a small trading company, to the most imitated and desired watch brand on Earth. 100 years spent chasing a single obsession, precision at any cost. So the real question isn't what Rolex has already done. It's what's left to conquer.